If your kiddo's dealing with low tone, what's called hypotonia, a weak core, what we find is it is actually more about first hypertonia, too much tension, often in the brainstem, the neck, and the shoulders. You may recognize this when your kiddo was an infant. Maybe they had torticollis, their neck was stuck to the side, they were developing flat spots on their head, maybe they had reflux or colic, or every time you moved them, you could feel this tension in their body. All those are signs that actually early on in life, they had too much stress and tension stuck on up top. And why this is important is in order for the core to engage, I'm going to show you a picture here in a moment of what we're looking for, but in order for the core to have good tone and the right amount of tone for good posture, it has to first, the brain has to get messages through the brainstem, the neck, all the way down to engage the core. If there's too much here, it robs from the middle. So what this might look like, this is a scan we did of a 3.5-year-old. And I remember even his first visit in the office, most of the visit he spent lying on the floor. And what we're looking for is this black line was the amount of energy his body was spending to sit upright on a stool. Should be a pretty simple task. What we want to see, you can see these other lines here, the white, green, blue, red. We want to see it go narrow through the neck, wide through the core, and then narrow again at the bottom. So we want the widest part of this scan to be right through here. As you can see, it's actually the most collapsed part. The neck was spending more energy, and way down low was spending more energy than what the core was using. So yes, he was dealing with low tone in his core, but he was actually dealing with hypertone above and below that. Once we started working with him, this is his follow-up a month later, and you can see now the neck and below is actually spending much less energy than the core in the middle, as you see these black lines actually now coming out around the core and engaging properly. What that means is now his body can take much better advantage of things like PT and OT and primitive reflex integration. So if you find your kiddo has been working on those things, maybe you've been doing one of those therapies for a long time and you feel they're not making the progress you wanted, or they're plateaued and stuck, and you feel like you're missing a piece, often we see it is actually hypertonia, too much tension, too much stress in one area that's preventing progress in another. So if this resonates, please shoot us a message, reach out, we're here to help.